You're listening to another episode of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is a place where we're entitled to Brad's opinion. You never know who might drop by.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Hi, Camille. Just in time. We're already started, so there you go. Get the the routine.
Okay.
Hello. Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't hear her mic on, Taylor.
Well, it was muted until she got here. Now it's
Oh,
unmuted, so
okay.
she talks now you can hear it.
Okay.
Is this Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just traffic was an issue, was it, dear?
The detour's back.
Yeah, I know it.
Can you raise your chair a little bit?
Yeah.
Well,
Am I like a little kid?
Mandy had that same problem, didn't you?
Yes.
I'm here with Mandy Hardin, who's going to talk about creative concepts by Mandy. She does promotional items, and so I hope if y'all are out there in the real world and you need promotional items, this is the person to get to it. Oh, I left my
Your
phone
volume's
on.
up.
Yes, I got
Episode
it.
305.
305. Okay, we're having a little fun here because Camille comes running in just as we were starting, and now she's having trouble with her chair.
I can't move my chair.
It's fine. I'll move the camera. Hold on.
All right, and so Taylor's going to get adjustments so we can get a better view of the Queen of Burleson here.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop it.
So,
It's so short today.
yeah, I know. Well, but other than the traffic issues, how are you
Yes,
doing?
it's just a beautiful morning.
Well, we can talk about the hub a little bit too, but she also has some.
Yeah. Yeah, Mandy's awesome.
Yes, we have some photographs and video. Taylor's going to be loading that up during the show, so we can't bug him. We're already bugging him enough. Poor lad.
Poor lad.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, let's see if we get this started here. All right, here we go. Okay, you do promotional items.
Yes.
And you've been doing it for how long?
So I've been doing embroidery and laser engraving since 2012. I started out part-time, and then as we grew the business, we added screen printing, large format printing as far as like window decals, banners, things like that. And then we probably added that, I guess, in 2018, as well as promotional products in 2018.
So you're expanding the inventory, huh?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, we're going to talk about your background in this, how you got into this, because this is not something you did straight out of college. And, I find it ironic you were doing ag lending, which is something I know a little bit about because of my cousin, the king of Kiowa County. And he's glad to see you, Camille. He always asks, how is my Camille doing?
Tell him I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We probably
Yeah.
added that.
And your volume's on.
Yes. We're having a little bit of a confusing time here.
It's one of our first shows.
Yeah, it's my first show
Yeah, you
ever.
think so? But anyway, let's run through the ads while I still have ads to show you if I still have sponsors. All right, this is CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Thank you to Daniel for all he's done. He's doing well. He's on the board for that Eagles Nest. I've been trying to get Eagles Nest on, but it's really hard to get hold of him right now. But I'm going to try to get.
Are they out of town right now?
I don't think Daniel is, but I know.
No, I mean,
McConnell's
yeah.
still down in Guatemala.
Okay.
And they don't have the kind of internet access that really makes for a good Zoom show because it cuts out on them and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. You can check out their webpage for the programs, the training, the memberships, the whole 9 yards. So
where you can
it's good
adopt
place.
a child. You can adopt a child on there.
At CrossFit Burleson?
Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I thought I was still on Daniel's thing. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not responsible for the sponsor.
Oh, yes. I'll talk about Eagles Nest in a little bit later.
Okay.
No, we're talking about, we're trying to make Daniel some money here.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Go see Daniel. CrossFit Burleson.
All right. Also, thank you to the Stocks Group. I had Shandy on yesterday, and she was talking about real estate and the rates that were going up and down, what the rates are doing to the home prices and whatever else. And it's a very difficult time. Last night I was at my daughter's house, and then house across the street is for sale. And it is already like $60,000 more than it was asked for 4 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable.
Are they in Cleburne?
They're in Crowley. Well, they're Crowley ISD, but they're in Fort Worth.
Okay.
All right. And they're in South Fort Worth off of, I don't want to say where they are.
Yeah, exactly where they live.
No, but they're in South Fort Worth. And it's a decent neighborhood, but it's still, the homes are ridiculously high.
Yeah,
and
they
Sandy
are
and I were
everywhere.
talking about this yesterday. And, she has some homes for sale, so you want to check them out. You better get somebody like her because she knows the houses coming on before the market even knows about them.
It's kind of how you have to get them now.
That's exactly right. And yeah, do you live in the Bertelson area or Mansfield?
Burleson.
Burleson. Okay, so you know the drill. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, also Rex Russell with the Russell Wealth Group over in Cleveland, myfinancialbox.com. Hit the link; it'll tell you all about it. The stock market going crazy, and Thursday show I'm going to be doing a rant and rave show on the coming recession. I honestly think a recession's coming, and what I'm seeing in the news is a lot of other people starting to think that as well. Even though a month ago they were trying to say, "Oh no, it's not going to happen," but now I saw on NBC last night a whole segment about how it's coming. Yeah. So Rex will help you navigate through that, and all the other business. He'll come have some coffee with you. He'll come to where you are, and he's been doing it for 35 years, and so he knows all about it. Also, we know these people. Gayla,
yes, we do.
Southern Gym. Have you been up there before, Mandi?
I have.
Isn't it nice?
Yes. Her store's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And they're looking to expand. She's having the same, or at least the landlord's having the same construction supply issues as everybody else is. So it's indefinite, but eventually she's going to expand on that floor or somewhere in the Windmiller. Mm-hmm. It's a good location. And I tell people this all the time. My wife is working for her now, once for summer. And then when she leaves the school system, which is sometime soon,
you're going to be broke.
No, because of the jewelry.
Yeah, because she's going to get a discount.
Well, what really helps is that she's going to be able to wear some of it. So maybe that will.
Oh, you think that'll ease the pain when she doesn't get it?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, maybe
just get her to do something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, our anniversary is Saturday.
Oh, well, then you better go see Gayla.
Yeah, 34 easy, smooth years.
Exactly.
Like, just like on the Hallmark movies.
Just like a fairy tale.
Yeah. But there you go. Also, we know this young lady, Michelle Humphrey over at Hot Works, over in 731, or John Jones, depends on how you want to call it.
And in Las Colinas.
And in Las Colinas, yes. Yeah. She's over by the Kroger and the Premier Theater and all that. And I went over there last week for a little sponsor care. She donated to Shandy's charity for this swag bag to put together for a winner of a drawing. And, and I went over there to pick it up. And it's that they got all these different programs. It isn't just going over there and dancing to the oldies with the infrared.
Yeah.
It's, it's
not that at all.
They got all these different programs. Have you ever used that service yet?
Yeah, I've done the sample.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard for me with my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But it's
awesome.
Yes. And it's funny, she'll tell you, just like anybody that's done it, it's a different kind of heat. Mm-hmm. So you get tired and you get a good workout, but it's not like you don't come out of there just wanting to hit the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of people on this show that's, I've done her routines and whatever else. It really is kind of nice because sometimes when I have guests, they know more or as much at least about my sponsors as I do. And they go, I used that, and I've gone to Southern Gym and gone to our place and all that. So.
Well, and if you go to her Las Colinas studio, check out the shower doors.
The shower doors.
I did the decals.
Oh, all right. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Hey, our old friend Robert Rise is watching right now, making sure
Hello,
that.
Dr. Rise.
Yeah.
He's our Southern Charm insurance guy.
Yeah, well.
He's got all the Southern Charm for all of us.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. He's also a client of Michelle's. He's always talking about that. Yeah. So, all right, let's talk from the beginning. Now, you graduated from TCU, about 10, 12 years ago?
Yes. So I graduated from TCU in 2008.
That's close. 14.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah. I'll take 10. It makes me feel a little younger.
Yeah.
But I am a Burleson graduate, and then graduated TCU in 2008. Finance degree, business degree, communications minor. And I did ag lending and...
That's interesting, you ag lending, because I was joking about my cousin, but he worked for the same company you did for a little while.
Right.
And, I don't know nearly as much as y'all do, of course, but I get at least an idea of how it's handled and what you do. So you're dealing with all these cowboys out there, were you?
Yes. Yeah, and I kind of grew up in the, ag industry. I grew up showing horses and working with cattle and everything.
Were you in ag in high school?
I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was a teacher at that time?
So I started out with Barbie.
Yeah, right.
But he retired as soon as I started, and then it was...
Is there a connection there? He said, I can't handle this.
Yeah, I can't handle that man.
Yeah.
I think it was a little more than just me, but
Yeah.
Barbie was amazing, is amazing. And then Stephen Davis and Miss Dickinson.
Miss Dickinson, yes. We taught together at the junior high for a long time. I didn't do it for a long time, but I remember her well. And so you get into that ag mindset, I guess, if you will.
Yes.
And then I didn't know TCU had that kind of specialty program.
So they have a ranch management program.
I remember they did. Do they still have it?
They still have it.
Okay.
I didn't do that program.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty specialty program. But I knew I wanted to stay in the ag part of it, but I also math was my forte. So
not mine.
the older I get, the harder it is. But
yeah.
and so I just, I knew that, in my mindset when I started school, I was like, oh, I'll go into the business finance world and do the ag end of it because it'll keep me with what I love, but then it'll be recession proof. Well, I graduated in 2008 when we had a recession.
Right.
And thank goodness I already was with an internship with a company because I just came right out of school and started working for them. Because if I wouldn't have, I graduated with so many people that it took years for them to get a job in 2008 in the finance industry. So I was
have a
one
similar
of the lucky.
story. I got my finance degree from Baylor in the mid 80s, and I wanted to be a banker. And I was competing with all these other big time universities like Stanford, Notre Dame, and all this other stuff. But when I graduated in 84, I went to work for Dun & Bradstreet on the other end of it as a credit analyst. But within about 4 years, everybody I knew in the banking had lost their job, every one of them. And I saw one of my old friends 6 weeks ago, roughly, and he's my age, and he's worked for 16 banks, and he's a high quality individual. And it's not like he can't keep a job; it just that's how much volatility is in banking. So
Yes.
and you were pretty much facing that same thing, I'll bet.
Oh yeah, in 2008 it was tough, but I am, like I said, I'm one of the lucky ones. I really didn't have to worry with it because I was already with a good company. I had interned for them for a year already, and they wanted to keep me on full time. So I went straight out of college, started working for them. I worked for them, I think around 8 years before I switched to a different bank. And I was in banking for 12 years total. So,
well, did being a woman in the ag field, was that an issue at all?
I mean, everybody was open to it. It was, of course, when you deal with the older generation, they like the good old boys.
Yeah.
But everybody, they're more open to it now than what they used to be. And it was fun. I enjoyed the job.
Yeah.
But when we moved, because we moved out of town for several years because of my husband's job and then moved back, I went from ag lending to a depository bank, and I still loved what I did, but it was, I could just feel that it wasn't what my heart wanted to do.
Well, I can relate to that also because I was in that field with Dun & Bradstreet, and I just said, no, I'd rather teach school. I know it sounds crazy, and it sounded like you wanted to go off on your own as well.
Yes, I loved everybody I worked for. The main thing I liked about what I did was all of the customers I got to meet, all the people I got to meet. I always told them my door was always open, so they'd come in, we'd have coffee, we'd chit chat. I never rushed them out of my office, and sometimes that was a bad thing because I wouldn't get anything done. But it's kind of, I liked that aspect of it. I didn't like the, here's the paperwork, here's the boxes. If they check it, they're good. If they don't, they don't.
That's another thing my cousin was talking about is that what's changed in his field, in the ag field, ag lending field, and as a borrower, not just as a lender, is a lot of the personal relationships aren't the same. It used to be like when my uncle had the farm, they'd just go to the coffee shop and he and the banker would agree on a few things, and then did come by that afternoon and sign the papers.
Right.
Handshake deal. Now it's, you got to get it analyzed, got to send it to the, headquarters in Chicago or whatever. And that really bothers him because, ag lending is very much a personal thing.
Yes.
But a lot of the major corporations have taken that out of it.
Well, and it's really hard when you have a customer that you have a relationship with and you're working with them, and then you send it off to underwriting and they say no because of certain situations, and you have to tell the customer that, and they're like, well, why? And all you can tell them, you can tell them what you know, but then ultimately you tell them because the underwriter said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
hard. So, but, and that's kind of why I started doing part-time the embroidery, screen printing, and everything is because, I get to do what I love to do, but I get to sit and talk to customers every day. I do the same concept as far as, what the machines will let me do. Mm-hmm. But every customer and every logo and every situation is different. Mm-hmm. And it's fun to actually help them bring it to life and see how excited they are when they get it. And then when you go around town and you actually see somebody in your stuff, you're like, hey, I made that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like your slogan. What is it? Stay out of my business so you can...
No, my slogan is, I'm minding my own small business so I can focus on yours.
Yeah.
Minding my own small business.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Well, Monday won't be small. Maybe you'll have several.
Yes.
She's
Right
not
now,
small
it's just.
now. Have you seen her facility?
Well, I saw it when the BNI meeting. I saw that video she showed us.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, she has some brief clips that we're going to show in the second half of the show,
Okay, sweet.
and so we'll see some of that. But as for you, dearie, how's business at the Hub doing?
The Hub is good. Excuse me. We have a new guy, and I always love it when we get customers who I never anticipated existed. Our new guy is Mike Beardsley, and he has duty-free lawns. Can you imagine what he does?
Yes, I can imagine.
Well, it was a first for me. So we have Mr. Mike who does duty-free lawns, and apparently you can have your poop professionally scooped from your yard, and you don't have to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a little dog, so I don't really think about that. But
Yeah, well, we're babysitting the dog right now. My son is going with his girlfriend's family on a big cruise, and so we're babysitting the dog for 2
nice.
weeks. Yeah,
the grand dog.
the grand dog, which is about as close as we're going to get
I
right
probably
now.
that's all my parents were going to get for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Was a grand dog.
Us
Yeah.
too.
But yeah,
That's two.
Yeah, we waited for a while.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
She's brave. Mandy's brave.
well, it's just a different generation. It really is. My son and I were talking about this last night. If I seem a little groggy, we got up really early this morning, like around 3:30, to
Ew.
send him off to get to the airport.
Ew.
He had like a 6:30, 7 o'clock flight.
That's super early.
And so, we had a dog, and we had to put her down a few months ago, and Robin's all excited about it. Anyway, I'm getting off the track, Anyway,
Yeah.
so
you want to talk about Dolly Parton, my dog?
Yeah, no,
I love her.
okay.
I love the name.
No, we're here to
dog
talk
is
about y'all's
terrifying.
businesses. you
Okay.
know.
Well, there's other stuff at the Hub going on. Where are we at?
Wherever you want.
Okay.
We're just a friendly conversation today. No political points to it. I'll save that for Thursday.
Oh, you're saving the Joe Biden talk for
Oh,
later.
well, I didn't say that exactly.
Well, we have another new lady at the Hub. She's fantastic. She are y'all familiar with Clubhouse?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not.
Well, she leads rooms on. She does a master class, and I don't know what it's about exactly, but she seems awesome. And so she does a lot of discussions on Clubhouse, and then she does virtual co-working rooms, which is pretty neat compared to. I mean, so that's kind of like just what we do, but not. So we're.
That is on a virtual basis.
It's on a virtual basis. Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, there might be 40 people in a room on your screen, and you're just doing your own thing, working, but you're with the community. So I think that's a difficult concept for me, online community versus
Yeah.
physical community. But I think that you can
So is
accomplish
it
a lot
to
of
be
the
able
same.
to bounce things off of people?
Yeah,
or?
just so you're not alone.
Oh,
So, which I think
Interesting.
is really important, especially now.
Well, I'm still technically inept. That's why I have Taylor around.
Me too. That's why Taylor's my best friend.
My best friend. Now he is, at least for the next 45 minutes he is, or whatever. Well, anyway, back to Mandy.
Ayo.
Okay, so you got out of the finance business, but you probably have been thinking about this concept, this promotional items and the ability to create for some time. So
Yes.
it must have been quite the nerve-wracking jump, because you're putting a lot on the line. Basically, you're getting out of what is probably a secure job with a steady paycheck, and then you're going to get to something that may or may not work. And so,
right. Yeah. I mean, it was good for us part-time for a while, but then it was getting to the point where we needed to decide, okay, are we going to go full blown with this, or are we going to keep it part-time and just, it is what it is? And I guess in 2018, we decided, okay, let's try this. Well, without getting too religious or political, we prayed about it and we thought about it.
You can be religious on this show.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
No. This is it's not a evangelical show, but we made pretty clear our faith on
It's
this show.
angelic, though, since Mandy and I are
Yeah,
here.
it's exactly
Yeah.
right. No,
Not
but
evangelic.
but no. Quite often I've expressed my faith, and so have my guests. So it's not
Okay.
not a social error or
You're in a
anything
safe
like
place.
that.
Safe
You're in a
place.
safe
Pray
place.
to
Yeah.
Satan.
Okay.
Yes, and what?
What, Taylor?
Just say don't do that.
Okay, don't. Okay, well, but no, we've had
joke.
plenty of guests that say, "Can I say this about the Lord?" And say, "You can say whatever you want about the Lord, as long
Okay.
as it's good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we thought about it, prayed about it, and one day my husband and I just came to one another at the same time, almost. It was, and said, "Okay, let's do this. If we're gonna do this, let's do this." And so in 2018, I left banking and started full time. I was working out of a shop at my house, and we started growing, started getting business, started getting out there. We found out we were pregnant in 2019, and we had a baby May 2020 in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, boy.
And yes, well, and it was funny because I was stressing a lot while I was pregnant because having a baby in COVID, because I was 6 months pregnant when they did the lockdown. So I was, when I became pregnant, it wasn't anything. And then all of a sudden, and then the business, I was like, I left my job for this. And we do a lot of corporate stuff. So employee apparel, products that they can give out at conferences, conventions, things like that. So of course, when COVID hit, employees were working from home. They didn't need outfits. They weren't having conferences. So hindsight, I was panicking for nothing because I was able to take maternity leave and not lose anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Because we still had the customers that weren't shutting down, but then the customers that we didn't have just slowed down until the market picked back up. So it was actually a blessing in disguise because, when my son was old enough to go to daycare, they had 50 to 100 kid waiting list still. So, but
Yeah, I know that's daycare days. I remember that. I remember it clearly back in my kids are young, and it's hard for working families and you have small children, and thank God for Holy Cross. I mean, that was very helpful. And also we had put them in First Baptist, and also we had a couple of ladies. We kept our kids in a lady, like this lady's home,
oh yeah,
because it was just much. Just a better deal,
Right.
Then we thought that maybe I'm not knocking these institutions, but we wanted like 3 or 4 kids at a lady's house, and it worked out really well for us.
yes,
And they're still friends, that kind of thing. And so anyway, so Taylor, you want to throw up the logo there she has? It's somewhere around in that. We send her. Andy sent him a lot of stuff, so it's we'll see how it's going. But
yeah,
but there it is, and in our BNI meeting, you showed us video, and some of that equipment is pretty extensive.
Major.
yeah. I might be able to send it to Taylor.
Yeah,
Can you text me? I didn't get the email.
all
Oh,
right.
you didn't?
No, so just text them to me.
Okay.
Then it should be fine.
Well, also you can do that while I'm doing the second round of commercials because I'll
Okay.
so you
Okay.
don't want to be distracted. But I don't know if I was like surprised, but it wasn't what I imagined. I mean, some of the equipment is expensive.
Yes.
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 Where do you get that equipment?
Yeah, there's conventions and conferences just like any, I guess, job throughout the year that you can go to and see the latest, greatest. And of course, just like anything else, there's the top 3, to choose from. There's not a good, better, best. There's just what do you like about the certain ones. And I do a lot of research before I jump out there and buy it because they are big investments.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like the equipment that would say make hats.
right, the embroidery machine.
Right. That's I'm sure that's quite expensive.
It is.
Also, the coffee cups, which we need to talk about after the show. That kind of thing. None of that's going to be cheap.
Right. Well, in embroidery, when I did it part time, I had some people know embroidery, some people don't, but I had what's called a single head machine to start with until I raised business, got money saved up, so I could do one item at a time. Now I have a machine that will do 6 items at a time. So, it did cost me more upfront to get into it, but in the long run, it's saving me money because not just one hat at a time, I'm doing 6.
Do you have minimum size orders? I mean, if I just
Some
wanted a
things-
hat, is that doable, or do I need to get like 50?
So you can do a hat. There are some things, just because, I know how it is. I work for myself. I am my company. So I know there are individuals out there trying to make it, but they also want to be able to rep themselves. So we do have some things that we can do, like one hat, one polo. There are things also that are smaller as far as like promotional products and like the cups or pins that we do have minimum quantities we have to do. And it just depends and varies on what you're ordering, what the minimum quantity should be, has to be. But as far as shirts, and I have different ways. Like, so if you're going to do a screen printing job, minimum is typically 12 shirts or more. Just because the setup for doing a screen print job is a lot more intensive than what people actually imagine. But I do have the ability to do printing for shirts from 1 to 12. It's just not screen printing. We have a machine that's called a direct-to-garment printer. So it's like a gigantic printer that you would see on somebody's desk. But you put the product on it and print straight to the product. So you don't have the setup. It's not as drastic as screen printing, where you actually have to make the screens, mix the ink, put the ink on, dry them, cure them, that kind of stuff. So
What's your most commonly ordered item?
It just depends. It's really funny in the promotional market. You either get something that they want a little bit of everything as far as screen printing, laser, banners. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I remember in the past having to order certain things for companies, and I had to go to one place for embroidery. I had to go to one place for banners. I had to go to one place for promotional products. So I'm going to several different places, and keeping track of it was taunting almost. So we try to be a one-stop shop for anything branded. That way you don't have to go to multiple companies to get one order completed.
Right.
But like, it seems like when our embroidery is busy, our screen printing's not, or when our screen printing's busy, the embroidery's slow. It fluctuates, but it never has a consistent. But
I would have guessed it'd either be coffee cups or pins, because of mass quantity, you can distribute them, in large numbers.
Yeah, probably one of our biggest promotional product. Our biggest is probably powder coated cups. The tumblers. We do tons of tumblers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then we do a lot of the stress balls, especially with what's going on, because they do puns on the stress,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You don't need one of those, Camille. You don't have any stress. What are you talking about, stress?
I have a stress ball mattress now.
Camilla's the most stress-free person I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Just
I got nothing going on.
Carefree, la-di-da.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
bonbons all day long.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to run through the second round of ads, and then you could, if you haven't sent them, take and do it while I'm doing all the yakking. Anyway, our place tomorrow morning. I have a breakfast appointment with B&I pal Robert. Rise and I are going to get together. Yeah, he's never been to our place, and I said, "How can you?" Yeah, I'm saying, "How can you not have been to our place?" So there you
Dr.
are.
Riza.
Yes, but he's going to be there, and also I'll be there Thursday morning with the Dawn Patrol, as we call it. We had the men in our Sunday school class get together, and it's like, oh my Lord, they serve breakfast all day. We don't have to go home at 6:30, but no, apparently I'm the only one without a job, and so they have to work for a living.
Yeah.
So, but Mandi, I'm quite sure you've been to our place. You lived here long enough.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a great place for families, and I always get a kick out of Otto walking around like Frank Sinatra in there.
Fantastic.
Did you see what he and his brother did with the formula, baby formula?
No.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
They were on Fox and Friends.
Yeah, they were on Fox and Friends. They're also on like the local news. I saw them on Channel 5 local. His brother Benji runs our place over in Mansfield, and they got through their supplier a ton of but a lot of baby formula.
Okay.
And they gave away. You could only give like one can per asker.
Yeah.
But they had people driving. Motto said they had people driving in from Houston
Oh my goodness.
when they saw the news and to get a can of formula,
Wow.
and so they were giving it away. And that's the kind of person
Yeah,
Otto is.
he's very
and-
generous.
Yeah, and his Benji is apparently the same way.
Yeah.
So, they're not just serving you food, they're serving the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm very honored by the patronage. I that's what I like about my sponsors is I can endorse them not just as a business, but as people.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot easier to get up here and go, hey, you need to check these guys out because I know what kind of quality people they are.
Yeah, he's very kind. And you guys had, he was very kind and generous to my daughter as well.
Oh, yeah, for the book signing.
Yeah.
How is that book sell decently?
I believe it did.
Yeah. Well, it's a unique perspective.
Yeah.
It's still on Amazon, right? The
Yeah,
words he
still
used?
on Amazon, the words he used.
Yeah. Well, good.
And thank you for your encouragement to her. You were both very instrumental in her kind of launching all that. So
Well, I see her doing this more in the future.
she's pretty amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't help it.
As
Amazing Grace.
Yeah, Amazing Grace is mom's pride here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Also, we have Wild Cigar, which, Mandi, you've been there before, it sounds like.
Yes, I have, and I've done some work for them as well.
Right. Chris was telling me about that. I told him about a month ago, where did you get your swag here? And goes, so I got it from Creative Concepts. And he said, well, yeah, I know that person.
Hey, we were in there the other day, and I met him, and he was dressed like Run DMC for his 80s party. I thought, first of all, I didn't know there was a party, and so I thought, this guy really loves Run DMC, and he does. But anyway, he looked great.
It is a good place, and I always endorse the fact that, if people think of cigar bars may have the wrong impression. It's a very well lit, well ventilated, clean place. It's not like some bunch of old coots sitting around complaining about.
Hey, and there's an artist in
government.
there. Do you know that lady Kim? I think it's Kim. She does that cigar wrapper art.
Yeah,
It's amazing. I mean,
and
she's
they
got
they
all
got
kinds of stuff.
it's a great place to go.
Yeah.
It's a good place to do business. It's open in the afternoons, and so if you want to stop by and have a drink or a smoke and talk business with somebody, it's a good place to do it because you're going to be able to hear yourself. It's not blasting
Yeah.
away.
Well, and they have a really nice patio, and it's a good day too.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, also we have Antonio Basalo, Proactive Payment Solutions. Now, he graduated in 09, and you said you graduated in 04, is that right?
Yes.
So you didn't cross paths at BHS, but
No.
he does point of sales operations. He also does, they help you with the transactions online, business online transactions, the whole thing. And I've talked about him before because he's a great story. He came here as a very young child from the Philippines, and he's done what we want in the American dream, created his own business, made his own way, and it's a great story. But if you need point of sales operations, the cash transactions, invoicing, whatever else, he got it all going on. And he had explained that a little bit to me because all this technology, my goodness, I'm still writing checks.
Yeah, I write checks.
I do too.
All right, and then we have Tiffany Griffin, Local Life Magazine. This will be coming out next week. She's pretty busy, She got a graduating daughter, and you remember that. It was last year for you,
Yeah.
right? Did you get all teary-eyed on the ceremony?
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't
Neither
really
did my
have any
parents.
tears.
I always, Tiffany and others, putting these pictures, the feels, the tears. I'm like, my parents are like,
Get out.
Yeah. Well, you graduated high school, goody for you,
Yeah.
Right.
That was expected, When I graduated college, they were more relieved than there's, cum laude and magna laude and all that. And I was thank you, laude. But, so anyway, also a couple of public service announcements. I believe we have, this is, I've been pushing this pretty good because I'm really pleased we have it. It's Burleson Medical Clinic. It's a free clinic for those who need medical help that don't have insurance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's on the corner of the old First Baptist parking lot in the northeast corner on Haskew Street. And it has 3 examination rooms, and it's not meant for Medicaid because I got their places to do business. It's meant for working people that just can't afford insurance or their insurance is terrible. And they need checkups, and so the checkups and the diagnosis and all that is provided by this outfit. And as far as like drugs and whatnot, they have access to pharmaceuticals, the basic ones at a very steep discount. So I always say though, call ahead because they don't have like a full staff every day. If you have pediatrician needs, it's a certain day. If it's obstetrician or things like that, certain days, general practice, certain days. So you have to call, make an appointment, but it's, I think it's a great thing. And it's put on it's sponsored by this Caring Physicians Charity Network. They provide the physicians, if First Baptist and Pathways are providing a lot of the equipment, the funding, the location, etc. Also, it is election day today. Finally, thank God. I know Andy Nolan. I don't know if he's still on the show, but he is now. He was earlier. Andy Nolan's running for Justice of the Peace at Precinct 3, which I live. The election's being held right now at Cana Baptist. If you're in some districts, I think it's, 7, 11, and 41. And if you're not in those precincts, 8, 10, 35, 42, and 43, it's over at the maintenance facility on 10420 East FM 917, which is in Alvarado. And I've endorsed Andy. I've had him on the show, had his wife on the show. They live about 4 houses up the street, and it's nice having a cop live in the neighborhood, and he's a high-quality individual. So if you hear this in time, go vote. And also, I voted for Chris Boddicker for county judge. It'd be interesting because this will be I've lived here for 30 years, and this will be only the second county judge because Ron Harmon had been there forever. And the guy that's running against Boddicker is also named Harmon, but there's no relation. So, but I had Boddicker on the show as well.
Is it too late to vote for a judge?
No, we can do it today.
Okay.
The thing about it is...
I'm trying to figure out where I live. I mean, I know where I live, but I'm trying to figure out where I go vote. I guess sub courthouse.
No, that was for early voting. But I bet you're Cana.
Okay.
From where, I'm just going to guess. Now, let's say that you voted in the wrong precinct. What will happen is your vote will be cast put to the side and it'll be counted later to make sure you didn't vote twice.
Oh.
But if you didn't vote in the primary, you'd still vote in the runoffs. I had people ask me that. I didn't vote in the primary before X, Y, or Z. I didn't know, for whatever reason. Can you still vote in the runoffs? Sure. Now, if you voted in the Democratic primary, you can't vote in the Republican runoffs, but that kind of thing. But in this county, there was one Democratic primary over in the west part of the county. In this area, the Democrats didn't even put on a primary. So whoever wins these local races today will be your county judge, will be your justice of the peace, will be whatever else is being run on. So there you go. Also, I don't know if you still have the Reimagine one, Taylor? This is going on to the end of the month. Not Reimagine, Reinspire. Sorry, Shandy, don't get mad. Reinspire.
Sponsor dropped.
Yeah, I know. No. She was on yesterday, and also the president of this, Charisse Olson, was on about 10 days ago. And they're doing a fundraiser, and they're not having an event. They're just, log on, donate, and if you get $40 or more, give $40 more, you can be eligible for a drawing for this big swag bag. And Otto already had put something in it. Chris, Michelle, Gayla all put stuff in it. And so it was really nice to see the sponsors help out a fellow sponsor. It was really sweet. But anyway, it's a good thing they do. And they're opening a facility in Cleburne as almost like a place that can help train these young people that are aging out of the foster care system. And those are basic things that we don't even think about.
Yep.
Ordering meals at restaurants, writing a check, how to get a driver's license, things like that, that we don't even think much about. Okay, were you able to get all your stuff over to them?
I think so.
Okay.
I was trying.
Well, it'll take him a couple of minutes, but has inflation and things like that really impacted your business quite a bit?
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. That's what I thought.
Yes. So, just like everybody, inventory has been... And so the most popular hat that's ordered is a Richardson 112. Everybody loves.
Well, who doesn't?
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're like impossible to get. I have so I've gotten to where I tell my customers, tell me what you want, tell me what color you want, don't get in a hurry, and we end up placing back orders for it, and I just tell them, when it comes in, I'll call you, I'll do it, and you'll have it. I mean, it's the shortage, and it just seems like, who knows what's right and what's wrong. But it was COVID, and then the ships backing up in the port, and, the facilities overseas that were flooding. And so it was just one thing after the other. And it's still, it's starting to get better on some things. But I used to be able to go to one distributor and buy everything I needed for an order. And now I'm going between 3 to 4 distributors just to place a order.
Did you go there personally to get it, or they ship it to you?
They ship it.
Okay.
There are some places that are local, Fort Worth, Dallas, that if we have to, we can go get, but I just have it shipped to me. So it's been hard.
And the costs have gone up?
Yes. So, I mean, I guess the beginning of the year, Richardson, even in the middle of their shortage and not having anything, they went up on me 40%.
40%?
40%. So, and then, everybody likes the Gildan shirts whenever they're doing, I'm just going to buy these shirts just to give to people. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on the shirt because I'm going to have the shirt and the print. So they, because Gildan has always been a reasonable price. We just found out in the industry that they're about to go up on their pricing. So, I mean, everything across the board, it's just like, it's hard because you want to keep it reasonable for your customers because you know that they're just coming out of a really hard time with what's going on in the world and they can't really afford to pay more. But, we can't afford to pay more either. So it's just a trickle effect and it's, it makes it hard. But it's still, there's still things that are doable and workable. You just might, if somebody who's used to ordering like 200 shirts and the print they put on it is a 4-color design, you might talk to them and say, well, we can get it more reasonable if we go to a 2-color design. So let's talk about, how to rearrange it to where we can still fit your budget. So, but it has been hard.
Yeah.
And it is hard.
Now, you're the only employee, though, right?
Yeah, I actually just hired somebody.
Really?
She's
Full-time, part-time?
Full-time.
Okay.
She's been with me 3 weeks now. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, good for you.
Yes. I hope to not run her off.
No, I doubt it. I'm sure she's wonderful, but but that's another expense you have to assume.
Yes.
And it's, I've been talking to a couple of business owners about inflation. And I'm trying to get Otto on the show, but, trying to pin him down with all this jet setting he's doing and all this other stuff and schmoozing at the restaurant. They've had some real issues there, too, with food prices and and paper goods. And it's really interesting that things that we wouldn't think about going into shortages. Last time I talked to them about a month ago, they couldn't get straws. Like, who doesn't have straws? But they couldn't get them. And it doesn't make sense. And I'm sure you run into these things here that all of a sudden, what do you mean don't have this type of coffee cup? It's as common as it can be. And now you just tell me you don't have any.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, so the manufacturers that make T-shirts, when the economy did what it did and COVID hit so hard, those manufacturers shut down and started making masks.
Yeah.
Because of the mask shortage. So they were starting to do the cloth masks, and that's all they did. And then when everything started settling down and they went back to T-shirts, everybody hit it full blown, right away, and they just couldn't keep up with the production that they needed to. So they're still playing catch up.
Yeah. How long does a typical order take for you to fulfill?
So we have a 10-day turnaround.
Okay.
We do have rush options for fees, but typically we're 10 to 14 days if we can get what you're wanting, if it's in stock. And if there's a problem with stock or anything like that, we let you know up front.
Right. Well, Taylor's used you. When I told him you were coming on the show, he goes, I used her just a couple of weeks ago.
She did a great job on her banners.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you talking to Mike.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was very enthusiastic about your appearance because he said, you did such a great job, and it was a rush order, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
She worked a miracle.
You will. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were part of this as well, Camille, right?
Yeah. She called me and said, so don't feel bad if you can't do it.
But
Yeah. Well, that's the value having the networking group, I suppose. Because it's paid off for me, certainly, and hopefully for y'all. Now, Taylor, did you get any of the stuff she sent you?
Yeah, we got some photos.
All right, so some photos. All right, what do we got here?
So this is, these are the powder coated cups we engrave. This was Dental Hygienist Week, I believe. My dentist, one of the ladies in his office reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to do something special for the girls, but we want it personalized." So we did some engraved cups for them.
What else you got? Then hats.
Yeah, sorry, that's kind of a...
Oh, it gives it the artistic look to
Yeah.
it. When you put it at an angle, it's like groovy.
And so this is a customer of mine. They raise, sorry if you ever hear this, but I think it's Frenchie bulldogs. They breed and sell, and so she brought me their logo, and this is called a 3D puff effect on the hat. So it's the embroidered image, and then the Texas and the made is raised, so it gives you the 3D effect.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
And what do we got here? A shirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kitterventions. She is a local girl. She has started doing tutoring and helping students that were set back because of COVID and missing school.
Oh,
so
that's definitely a need. I was reading about this yesterday, and the schools are like, my gosh, they really are 2 years behind.
Yes.
I would hated to have taught math in particular because it builds on each other. Is this Kittervention place? Is it here in town?
I don't know exactly the location. I'm bad because I didn't look at that because I was asking her about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's so amazing! These kids need this." But I can find out the location. She's got a Facebook page, the Kitterventions, and she's got several ladies that work for her and work with her to help these kids in getting caught back up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's very nice stuff.
Yes.
And these are?
So these are some patches that I did. I think I sent you a finished hat with this too, but we do the leather patches. There you go. Yeah. So we do leather patch hats. That's a real popular thing. We have, so this, you can do faux leather or real leather, depending on your price point. And then we engrave them on the laser engraver, and then we attach them to the hat however you want. We can glue them or sew them or just depending on cost.
Okay.
But it's the new thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a customer of mine. He's actually out of Arizona. But he wanted a cutting board with their logo on it. So this is it's a cheese board, so it's, a smaller size
Didn't you
cutting
do
board.
like some sort of box for our friend Lisa?
Yes.
She did those for us too.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
great.
Yeah, those are really popular during the holiday.
Now, what was the box contains?
Like a wine box.
Like a wine box, or it was.
Or you can put any kind of
Yeah,
gift in it.
they have different sizing of boxes,
Right.
and it's a slide lid, and we
Right.
engrave the company logo on the top of the lid, so the company can fill it with whatever they want.
Yeah, I thought those were very nice.
Yeah, they were.
And this is another one of our clients, tablecloth we did for them.
Wow, that's something I didn't think of. How about that?
Yeah.
A service team of professionals.
There
it is.
one of the Rush ones.
Yeah, that was. No, this is one of your
That's what
tenants.
for Vent. Yeah.
Yeah, over at the hub. He's been there a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, we've been working with him for about 2.5 years on this project, so it was exciting to
Well, good.
Yeah.
do
Oh,
that.
I didn't even think about sending you the banners so you can put the banners up. But
Oh well. No, well, that's good.
again, embroidered hats.
Now, let's say, I'm a big Baylor fan. I said, I want a BU hat. You can't do something that's logo is copyrighted, can you?
I can't do licensed work unless I have a release from the company. So, we are doing some shirts for Hardin Simmons, but since we're doing the shirts for them, we can do it without having to buy the license. If we were doing Hardin Simmons to sell to a store to sell, then we'd have to have the license. So to do Baylor for you, I can't.
Well, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Besides, you go down to the bookstore and then down in Waco, and there's got all sorts of Baylor swag at a very generous price.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've been to TCU's bookstore and you say, $30 for a hat? No, I'll just, I'll be with you in spirit, my boys.
Yes.
How do people get a hold of you?
So we are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, it's just Creative Concepts by Mandi, Mandi. And then we have a web page, creativeconceptsbymandi.com.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a phone number they can reach you at?
Yes, 817-319-8156.
Are you writing this down, guys? Try one more time.
Yep, 817-319-8156.
All right. And so they can call you and say, let's talk and whatever else. And,
Yep. And, if you're local to the area, we're off of 1187 and Stevenson Levy behind Myrtle's Burgers.
Oh, Myrtle's, the famous Myrtle's Burgers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're there 9 to 6. So stop by, visit, drink some coffee.
Really? Out of coffee cups that you made.
There you go.
You probably do your own stuff too, don't you? There you go.
And it's funny, they always say plumbers never have plumbing, cabinet makers never had cabinets. Everybody's, we just moved into our location. August will be a year. And so we're still getting everything for us set up because our main focus was working on the customer stuff as we were getting set up.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, you don't have any signs out front. And I'm like, well, I'm not a paying customer, so it's on the list.
Yeah. Well, apparently your business has taken off if you've added an employee and whatnot, and added products and added equipment. So I hope this modest little podcast helps you with that.
Well, thank you.
It's, you never know.
You never know.
No, here's the thing is about when people go to my sponsors for stuff, they don't go to Otto and say, I heard about you on Mr. Allard's Neighborhood, but they may have and decided to try it, but they just don't tell him. And that's the kind of thing, I'm sure. But that's fine. I have had Michelle and Gayla both say they have had people say that to them. And that's a nice thing.
Well, that's the good thing about us too, is if they hear from us and they're not local, we ship.
And so you mentioned somebody from Arizona, so, and Hardin Simmons is in Abilene. So, you must have made an impression with somebody somewhere to get out of town business and not just drop in business.
Well, and we're always there for our customers. They matter to us more than anything, and they come first. And we're not above saying, if they ask us to do something or have an idea, and if we can't do it, we don't mind telling them we can't, and we don't mind trying to help them find somebody that can. We always try to do it ourselves, but we're not above saying no.
That's the only thing you don't do is business cards, right?
Yeah, we don't do any paper product as far as business cards, flyers. We can do posters. We have that ability on the large format printing, but we don't do. But we do have somebody that we can refer to. That's also a local company. So if you don't want to have to outsource or go somewhere else, if you want to just do one purchase, you can come through us, and we don't upcharge for it. We just go straight to company.
Well, that sounds like a good deal. So, all right, y'all at my vast listening audience, you need some promotional items. You know where to go now, and because it's going to be done right, done well, done on time, and done affordably. So we highly endorse Mandi Hardin and Creative Concepts of Hardin here in the neighborhood, right? And the hub.
And we have 2 spaces open right now. So.
Okay, tell us about the spaces before we jump into the ad run.
So we need. Oh, thanks, Taylor. Taylor's part of our crew. He's awesome. So we have 2 private offices available right now. Both of those are $500 a month. That's unlimited access. That's private space. That's community space. That's Wi-Fi, fiber internet, coffee, water, community. So all that. Oops, I'm stepping on myself. We have 2 spaces available, and then we have some community space. So if you need some drop-in space, we can do that. We have day rates and all that stuff.
And it's an amazing place.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
It's very nice, and it's very comfortable, and it's very, very convenient.
Yeah.
And when you're done with some meeting in the hub, you can go across the street and eat at Fish City or
Old
Mambo's,
South.
Old South, whatever. And so it's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't say Old South.
Yeah, I keep to ask.
I don't say Old South. I don't get auto upset.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I keep asking for a sky bridge to cross Renfro.
No, he's I've teased with Otto about that, and he's like,
He's a great sport.
He's a good sport.
He's all
that
about
stuff.
community, so he's a great collaborator.
But anyway, I'm going to run through the ad space, and then we'll give you the last word to tell us everything you want us to know. So thank you to Daniel over at 317 Southwest Wilshire at CrossFit Burleson. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the kids are doing well. If you need to get fit, not throw a fit, this is a place to do it. That's Daniel rolls his eyes when I use that. Told him about that a while back. I was going to use that, and he's like, whatever. Thank you to thank you to Shandy, and I hope you're doing well. I know she has houses that she knows about that are not on the market yet. You need to talk to somebody if you're going to move in this area. You can't, if you think you're just going to drop by and pick up a house, I'm afraid that won't be happening. So talk to Shandy and she'll help you out. Also, thank you to Rex over at the Russell Wealth Group, myfinancialbox.com. I had him on last Tuesday, and we had a very interesting conversation about the markets and inflation and whatever else. And, you need somebody that's experienced, in this market. If you try to do it by yourself, you're going to get hammered. Also, thank you to Gayla over at Southern Gem, fine jewelry and gems, cleaning, repairs, design, appraisal, inventory. She got the whole 9 yards. It's a really nice place. And also Michelle over at Hotworks. One thing I also stress with Michelle's Hotwork place, it's a secure place. It's you have to be let in during the day, and if you come in, it's open 24 hours, but you have to have the right code to get in after hours and all that. So it's not going to have people just wandering in. So it's a secure place to do your workout. So Hotworks over on 731. Also, thank you to Ottawa Course, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow and Thursday. There went my diet, but anyway, it'll be great. And so thank you for your help. Thank you for everything. Also to Chris over at Wild Cigar. So if you're looking for a decent place for a decent smoke and a drink and to talk about business or the Cowboys or whatever else you want on your mind, Wild's the place to do it over at the Standard at Chisenhall. Also, thank you to Antonio. Hope you're doing well. ProactivePaymentSolutions.com. It'll help you with all the interactive business that is way over my head, but point of sales operations and invoicing and billing and whatever else that you need, he can help you with that. And also thank you to Tiffany. I like bringing her on the show because she always has the inside of what's going on in this town a lot. I call Camille the queen of Burleson. Tiffany is the homecoming queen of Burleson. Yeah, she's a good place to advertise. So she gets 30,000 homes and over 110,000 people see it. And I walk in like I was yesterday getting my car inspected over at Christian Brothers, and there's like 2 or 3 copies right there.
I feel like you're calling me old right now.
Well, you caught me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
No, you're not old. Are you kidding? These boots are older than y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. So thank y'all for everything. Remember, this is, if you hear this today anyway, it is primary day. And if you haven't voted, you need to. And like I said, Andy Nolan and Chris Boddicker has the endorsement of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood, where you're entitled to my opinion. Okay, tell us everything you want us to know in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
All right, 4 minutes then.
4 minutes. I believe that shopping local is important. I always say that our main competitor is overseas, and there's nothing against them. And if that's what you can afford and that's what you want,
well, I agree. Shopping local is critical. It keeps our community,
especially these times. And if you need anything, anything branded, that's what I tell people too, because, I always say, we're not putting clothes on your back. We're branding the clothes you have. But with that being said, we do buy the clothes for you. I started out saying that, and that was my first slogan. And then people were like, well, so I have to bring you the clothes. And I'm like, no, we will buy it for you. So I stopped saying that as much, but that's our main thing, is to make you seen and make you visible in the community. How much, how often, where at, that's up to you. But we care about our customers, and we want you to be happy. We want you to get what you need. And we just like to keep local. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real super important.
It is. Yeah, it is. And Camille here, you're involved with a lot of stuff besides just B&I. Chamber of Commerce. You probably know this already, but I'm going to have Cabrina Solis on every first Monday of the month.
Yeah, I connected you with her.
Yes, you did. And I'm going to have the mayor on the second Tuesday of every month.
I did not connect you with him.
No.
You did that on yourself. On your
Yeah, well, he's pretty easy to talk into it. And then also Victoria Johnson's going to be on every other month right now.
She's great, yeah.
She has these little small children, so she can't just be quite as available as I'd like, but there you are,
Right.
But moms come first, and that's all it is. Well, thank you, Mandi, for coming by, and I hope this helps.
Yes, thank you for having
No
me.
problem. See, it wasn't as bad as you thought it'd be.
I know. I'm a little nervous on air, on mic.
No,
Right.
but
I feel like a kid over here just swiveling my chair.
Well, yeah,
I
but-
catch myself. I'm like, okay, stop.
Well, yeah, but once you started having the conversation, and you forgot about the vast listening audience out there watching, writing down every mistake you make.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure I'll get texts later.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you all. See you Thursday, and hope to hear from you then. Bye-bye.